everyone, I'm Teresa Harding. This is week 2, day 5 of our One Sample Away challenge. And today your mission, should you choose to accept it, is you are going to learn how to hold a successful online class. Now, a lot of times you have people that you know or people that you've been sampling or people who want to get involved or interested in the oils and they don't live near you, and you might not be in a position yet to be paying the money to go fly where they are. Or maybe you have some following on the internet and you want to take advantage of that. So we're going to talk about that today. And an online event or an online class is a great tool to help you connect with your team no matter where they are. So this is a great way to get people involved and want to enroll in doTERRA. Sample them the same way that you would with the people that you're inviting to your live local class. But I want you to realize that you can do the same thing and then hold an online event. Have events scheduled. And remember, you still need to have more than one event scheduled so that they can attend. Now, what we're going to do is, first I'm going to talk about what is an online event. An online event or an online class, it's basically a virtual class. It's something that you do the class in front of your computer, and they have signed up whichever way they sign up. They can watch you from wherever they are. So you have your computer at your house and you're teaching and looking at them and seeing them through your computer, or depending on what kind of platform you use, you may not be able to see them, but they can see you. And you teach the class and they're in their home or they're on their computer or on their phone and they can watch you doing the class. Now, a few of the different kinds, there are webinars. You can use Skype and do a Skype call. You can use Google Hangout. That's another platform. You can use a Facebook, you can do a Facebook Live or some sort of Facebook event. There are Twitter conferences, there are forums, there are chat rooms. There are so many different options. And Curtis is going to get into much more detail with you about all of those different options. And in Tyler's video, what he's going to do is he's going to walk you through how to set those up, how to get those ready so that you know how to use those platforms if that's what you choose to do. Now, online, you'll notice that people have all types of events. Okay, I'm not talking about an essential oils class. I'm talking about events. They'll have boot camp, which lasts a whole week. They'll do some certain class or training every day of the week. They'll have oil parties. They'll have BOGO parties. They'll have cooking parties or weight loss parties. They'll have a spoil you event. This is not what we're talking about here. Those are great things to do in your business, but that's not what we're talking about here. This is fast track. We are talking about building your business and having the basic essential oils class. So we're talking about a basic essential oils class, okay? So what happens is a lot of people, they try to get in on all these elaborate things, all these week-long types of events because they're so excited to get into the online space. And they feel like, oh my goodness, I need to grow my team online. I'll be able to, meet all these people. I'll be able to grow up faster. And that's actually not necessarily how it works. Now, I am crazy about online, and I'm not even going to tell you how much money I spend on figuring out the online space every single month because I am super excited about it. And the thing that you'll be excited to know is that all the money I'm spending to learn how to do this, we have figured it out, and it is awesome. And right now, I'm actually preparing a training that I can do for you guys, those of you who want to do more online, because we've done it where it costs way too much. Cost per acquisition is way too high. We've done it where the cost per acquisition is getting way better. We've actually created mastermind groups to help us figure out how to make it better. And we have been figuring this out. Now, the reason the training is not out yet is because even though we know how to get online enrollments, the problem is if you don't take care of them after the fact, then guess what happens? Then all of a sudden, it's like you have a bathtub where you're pouring water into the bathtub, but the drain is out. As soon as you've got them in, a huge percentage of them are flowing right out the door. Now, what is one of the things about doTERRA that is so powerful, that makes the business opportunity so powerful? It is that we have such a high retention rate. People love the product and our retention rate is so high. And so part of the problem that's happening, there are a lot of people who can get online enrollments. But the reality, not everybody, it's still a small percentage based on all of doTERRA. Most people are just growing what we call organically. They're not growing their teams online. They're using their Facebook, they're using their social media. And we have some surprises for you in store. We're going to go into some of that in week 4. So I'm excited to share those things with you. But for right now, we're just talking about the online class. And the training I'm creating for you will work well with the online class, but just know that we are setting it up so that it will be something no one has ever seen before, where they come in, and not only do we get crazy numbers of enrollments, but we also take such good care of them that our retention rate is going to be higher than doTERRA. And I want you to know that, there are a lot of people who bring in online enrollments, but the retention rate is so low compared to doTERRA's overall retention rate. And corporate is very concerned about this because that can make a huge difference for all of doTERRA, for all the distributors. So in my mind, I'm not going to go teach people how to do something halfway. I could teach you how to go get enrollments online right now, but I'm not going to teach you that because we're putting the last piece of it together where our retention rate is going to be phenomenal. So we're seeing some of those things now. We've been putting it together. So be watching for some of that training to come out. So just know, I'm not saying don't go online, don't do online enrollments. Absolutely, let's do that. We'll figure that out. We are figuring it out. We've got most of it figured out. We're just putting the last pieces together. So don't think I'm saying don't go online. Online is the future. That is awesome. But for this piece, you need to learn how to do all the pieces that we're talking about. Yes, you want to learn how to do the online class. The online class is going to help you for organic growing, or if this is what we've done this 30-day challenge, we call that organic growing, where you're reaching out to people individually like this. Doesn't mean you're not reaching out to people online, but you are approaching different people yourself instead of being able, like using the platform of your Facebook group or something like that. Now, some of you within this challenge know that you can bring that in. So you've already been adding that piece. That's not necessarily what we're teaching you here, but of course you can add that piece. So that's great. But the beautiful thing about this is that we are going to show you how to do the skills. Because I don't care if you get really good at online. Let's say that you just want to build online. I don't care if you're just building online. You have got to have the skills of knowing how to teach people about the essential oils, knowing how to follow up, knowing how to invite them to use the essential oils, knowing how to invite them, whether it's to an online class or a one-on-one or a live in-face, in-person with you. It doesn't matter. You have got to learn those skills, and you've got to learn how to close people. I have lots of people who are on my team who get online enrollments, and it's great. But what happens is some of them tell me, okay, so I get all these, and by the way, I can see the numbers, I can see what's happening. And what happens is they get lots of enrollments, but in most cases, they're getting a lot of enrollments, the people aren't enrolling right off the bat. What's happening is they see what's going on, they're interested, and after a whole drip email campaign where, like, let's say what my leader will be sending emails to them over and over again, little by little they get more interested, and over time they then enroll. Just like what we told you, the first 5 to 8 contacts is when someone gets involved. 80% of people get involved. So realize, it doesn't, whether you want to do online, whatever way you want to build this business, you need to learn these core skills. That's why I call it Fast Track. That's why this is so important. And that's why I sell the Fast Track training separately. Because no matter what else you're going to do, if you're going to want to learn from me how to do the online stuff, which will be coming out within the next couple of months, however, whatever you want to learn, you have got to have Fast Track training. You have to know how to do those skills. If you know these skills that we're teaching you this first 30 days, guess what? The rest of it will all come. The rest of it will all fall in place. That's why I get so excited about this 30-day challenge. Now, once you have chosen the platform for your event or for your class, what you'll need to do is you need to start planning. I'm just going to do a quick overview of some of the steps that you want to follow because Curtis is going to go into much more detail for you. So number 1, you need to target your audience. Decide who that audience is going to be. Now for you, because you're doing a basic essential oil class, guess what? It's anybody who wants to learn about essential oils. So your target audience will be anyone that would be interested in the class you just learned how to teach. This week you learned how to do the basic class, the simple, fun, really easy class. That's your target audience, the people who would be interested in that. Now, don't be thinking, oh, well, it's everybody because everybody has health and everybody needs help with their health. Well, guess what? If you do that, you are making it way too broad. You've got to narrow that down, and yes, you'll have lots of people who are interested. But just like you did with your 100 list, where you narrowed it down, it doesn't mean you're not going to talk to all the people on your 100 list, but you are definitely going to target first the people who got the points that were higher. So the fives, the sixes, the sevens. Those are the people you're going to talk to first. That's what I mean when I say target your audience. Number 2, you're going to plan and prepare. The beautiful thing is that we're planning ahead. So for your classes next week, if you have an online class, it doesn't matter. You plan ahead, make sure everything is ready. Number 3, ask for help. Don't hesitate to ask people for help. If you see someone who's done that before, if you have upline, if you have downline, if you have crossline, people in this group, ask each other for help. Get ideas with each other. Number 4, create a hashtag for the event. That way it's a lot easier for people to find no matter what platform on social media they're looking for it. So create a hashtag and add it to every single thing that you post about this class. Number 5, be involved. Use your social media platforms. Use your calling trees. Use your distribution lists in your email. Use everything that you have to get people involved and to stay involved with them so that they feel connected with you. Step number 6, I want you to entice participation. You can do this by giving away something for free. You can offer fun prizes. You can offer things for the first 10 people that get on the day of the class. You can, whatever, doesn't matter. And it can be digital stuff. It doesn't have to be something that costs you money. You can use your loyalty rewards points to get things that you give to them. But be careful that you don't make it too crazy high value, because if you do that, then what happens is it can devalue the essential oils. So if it's digital products, that's always a good thing. If you give too many physical products like roller bottles and a doTERRA keychain and free essential oils and all that kind of thing, a lot of times they end up not buying the essential oils from your class because you already gave them a whole bunch of free oils and free stuff. So be careful about that. But you can give digital product. You can give digital products. Get creative. Do all kinds of things. You can do free trainings. You can do free one-on-one with you where they get to do. I mean, it's a wellness consult. But tell them I'm offering half hour free of my time, valued at this much money. All kinds of things. And Curtis will give you more ideas for that as well. And number 7, keep the community alive. After you're done with the class, stay engaged with them, because people don't always buy at the class. Online, when it's people you haven't met before, what happens is those are cold contacts. So sometimes it can take more than the normal 5 contacts to get them involved. But the better you get, by the way, the better your percentages are and the less contacts you'll need overall. But the reality is you still need a certain number of contacts. So if they come to your class, you still need to follow up with them, stay engaged with them in the community. There are so many ways to hold an online class. So you're going to learn a lot from Curtis and from Tyler today. Please also share your ideas and your experiences. But remember, keep in mind, we're not talking about big, huge events. We're talking about essential oil basic classes. I'm not talking about I'm not limiting the number of people, because you might have 100 people come to your class. If you already have a big following, you might be able to get a big group to come to your class, but you might not. It doesn't matter if it's 1 person. It doesn't matter if it's 5. So sometimes it's good, if you're not going to have very many people, to use a platform where no one else can see how many people are there. And you just treat it like you've got a big old class, and you teach them, and you answer questions that are pretty common questions in classes, that kind of thing. But do not use the online class to replace the 4 local classes that you need to have. Now, if you do, let's say that in your situation, you've been sampling people who are in your online space or people who are not local, that's okay. Just don't use the online space as an excuse to not hold any live, local, in-person classes. You need to get good at that too. You need to gain your confidence there, and you need to be reaching out to the people in your area. So make sure you're helping them too. Now, Curtis' video, that's going to give you ideas. It's going to give you some different ways that you can use those different platforms. Tyler, again, is going to help you create those events because you need to set them up in those online spaces. Tyler's going to help you do that. Make sure you watch their videos, complete the action items in your workbook today, and I will see you tomorrow.